Have you ever thought about how all of life is an experiment? Think about it. Everything that we think we know has an outlier, has special conditions in which it's not true. Nothing is really for certain. Even like the basic laws of physics start to break down at a quantum physics level. Every rule has an exception. Every statistic has that 0.001% which somehow cannot be explained, even with all the data, right? Then why do you take your life to be certain, to be granted, to be in any way fixed? This is my invitation to you today, to help you let go of holding on to these things in our minds, these concepts which are very dualistic in nature and create a sense of false certainty. This sense of false certainty can lead to a lot of suffering. In my own case, as I was going through my spiritual awakening, I saw again and again and again this truth hitting me wherever I looked. Look one level deeper, or maybe 2 levels deeper, and everything starts breaking down. So then I saw like maybe there is nothing for certain outside here in the world at all. And that's the freedom. That's really where you can find certainty within that uncertainty. Because then it shows you that the only real and certain thing is within you, and you will stop looking outside. Because most of our lives we have been externalizing, trying to grasp something in the outside world to say, okay, this is the answer, I finally found it, this is the holy grail. And it's so elusive because it doesn't exist. And if you're really honest with yourself, it doesn't exist. There will be people who say, I have found the answer. But if you really talk to them and ask them, oh, this is the answer that I found for me. And I feel it's something that they have taken for themselves. Okay, I'm going to settle here and say, this is the answer for me. And this is my life. You know, this is what most people settle on after looking. They're like, okay, this is the most likely thing. But they haven't gone extreme enough. They may, I think they are on the way to finding that that's not certain. Because everybody, if they live long enough with something that they hold on to be true, which is external, will one or the other day discover, it's a matter of time that they discover that it's not true. That is why there is a disillusionment. That is why people have midlife crises. That is why we have spiritual awakenings, because we are shown that there is something more than what we can take from this 3D reality world and say this is the right thing, this is the only thing, this is the truth. So my invitation to you is to explore. What are you holding on to? What is the script in your mind for your life as like, this is it? This is how it is. This is the truth. If you're not exploring, you may have settled for something. And if you are exploring, then you are going through a spiritual awakening. Right? We are constantly like rediscovering life. Like even after enlightenment, it's just an infinite amount of wonder and mystery and things that you cannot put words to because words are so limited. Words are our way of holding on to judge something, to label something and say, this is this thing. And whenever I hear somebody talk and they're so sure of something, including myself, when I say something so sure, immediately I'm like, is that so? Really? Because this is how we fool ourselves into an illusory sense of permanence that we so desperately seek, that we want to see it, and we make it up for ourselves. Isn't it better to finally agree and recognize impermanence, uncertainty, and then because of that recognition you can actually relax. Relax, nothing's under control. Right? And in that understanding, you can find freedom, because then you would have to trust life. You would have to trust whatever hidden force that is controlling this thing behind the curtain. Right? Once you see the man behind the curtain, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. It all becomes a play. It can become a play. That's the whole point of this, right? It's a play of self-discovery. When we hold on to something, it becomes fixed and no longer playful. It becomes serious. It becomes like, oh, this is the thing we're doing, and this is what we have to do to succeed. This is the plan, and da, 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 da. Right? But when it's a play, you're like, let me try this. Does it work? Okay, it's fine. Let me try that. Does it work? Oh, awesome. All right, let's do more of that. But how do we do something like, bring a little bit of this together and see what mixes, right? It's an experiment. You're in wonderland. You're with these sparkly eyes looking at the world and saying, wow, let me look at this in a new way and see what happens. And in that wonder, you are free. In that wonder, you give freedom to the world to be as it is, as it flows, as it changes. It's so dynamic. And in that wonder, you find real joy in that wonder. Even with the suffering of the world, even with the fears that you will lose all that you have, which you never owned. Even with death looming at any moment, you will find solace in that present moment, because you realize that is all that you really have. That is all that you really have. This present moment. This moment, here and now. And then you can dance and play and love fully and open your heart and go all in, and yet be fully open to failing, to abandon everything at any moment. Be ready to die, and yet joyfully live. So many contradictions come together and balance each other in this place. In this place of here and now. In this place of Zen. In this state of Zen. Where all the knowns and the unknowns exist simultaneously without disturbing each other. This comes later. This is an advanced state of mind where you can be really mature in the ways of the world, which means you know things from up here. You have all the skills and the understandings which make you wise, yet at the same time, you are a baby. You're like, wow! You have beginner's mind. Which lets you be free of all those knowings that you have at the same time. And then you can say, let's see what happens. Then you can admit to life being a mystery. Even though you may be the most experienced and wise person in the room, you can say, life's a mystery, we'll see what happens. And you can have fun. You can have fun. You can laugh at the moon. You can laugh at yourself. You can make mistakes. You can fall and get up and continue going on. Continue trying. Because, the last time you tried was a completely different moment which has disappeared into the abyss, lost in eternity. And this moment is completely new, and anything can happen now. You can try it a new way. because it's a new day. So yes, that's my invitation to you, to be playful, to be experimental. Understand, everything is an experiment. Everything. And the more you go deeper into any field of study, you will see this. In the beginning, there are these foundational rules that people are oh, this is, the Newton's 3 laws, which are so solid. Third law of motion says this, and this. The law of conservation of energy says that. But then you go little bit deeper, and then you see in the advanced level of study of the same field, all the fundamental laws have so many exceptions, which make you even question, how do we apply these things? Like in quantum mechanics, how the regular mechanics don't even apply, right? Everything that applied in normal physics stopped applying when you go to the atomic level, where it's a whole different ball game. It's fascinating. So from a science, it becomes a playful art in a way. And you wonder if God is playing dice. Like Einstein said, God does not play dice. But in a way he does. Or she does. Or they do. I don't know. This is the key word. I don't know. And that's what is going to free you from being so trapped in your knowings. Use that mantra. I don't know. But there will come a point when you come to this more advanced state, you can say, I know certain things to an extent, and yet be open. So even now, as I'm saying these things, I have to make exceptions, you see. That's the freedom that I'm trying to build into this talk, into my words, because I don't want to make statements which I know are not true again, especially in this talk. We make those kind of statements all the time because each word is a statement in its own. Each word has assumptions built into it, like saying I. It's so funny, so funny. And you can let it be funny. Laugh at it. Laughing at it gives you a sense of freedom from it. As I was going through my spiritual awakening, I used to just laugh so much. People thought possibly I was going crazy. I was just laughing at how absurd these things we believe in are. And that's a phase of laughing at the moon. That's a phase which gets you wondering, is the whole of society crazy or are you crazy? And that's okay that you wonder that. That's good. Because eventually you will see there is a finer balance. It's neither this nor that. Everybody's crazy in some way, to some level. And what is the truth? What is sanity? What is the meaning of being here? Right? Like, this thing gets people stuck so much that they assign a meaning to their life. I've heard absurd statements from people who have claimed their meaning in their life is to, sell insurance. That's the meaning of their life. And they believe so truly in it. And as long as it serves them, I'm like, okay, I'm not here to burst your bubble. But that bubble will burst at some point, because all this is made up. All this is made up. And the sooner you realize it, the better. All right. Know that life is an experiment. Be playful. Don't take anything seriously, especially yourself. And if you want to watch another video from me, I recommend this video where I talk about letting go of limited beliefs and myths. These might be something that you hold on to. So have a watch if you like. Thank you. Bye-bye.